not require attunement, by the way. So
It's good. Attunement is a hungry process. You can only have 3.
it does, and Amara still has to attune to her gloves if she wants to keep the gloves.
I am
Unless
going
you
to
want
attune to them. How long would it take?
an hour.
Okay. Well, guys.
It's
I'll
just an
attune to my
hour of
knife
it's
if
just
I
an
need
hour
to.
of concentrating on it.
Okay. Well, hey
What's the
guys.
stagger do again?
I'm
For
gonna.
my
Initiative bonus.
character, the initiative is the bonus for me. Yeah.
Oh, are
I'm
you
gonna-
keeping it?
Yeah.
Are you a dagger guy?
I mean, it's as like an actual melee weapon. It's just nice for me
Sure.
because I need if I can cast my spells as soon as possible, it does the most damage. Because it's the first turn they're in it, and, like it's when I summon it and then their first turn. So if I started in front of them, it maxes it out.
Advantage on dex, therefore.
Anyways, sorry.
Plus, I do need a melee weapon.
Thorkel starts
continue.
heading for the manor, by the way.
All right. So, does everybody else start going?
Oh
I
yeah.
was gonna kind
The rain
of
does
go
pick
find
up
a
a little bit
church.
more, and the thunder is it's getting a little bit heavier. Does Tamea, what do you do with those 2 adorable children that would never get hurt?
Yeah.
Up.
Stop it! Be nice.
Just FYI, I don't
Nice,
think that
Joe.
we should go to the manor until 9, 10, 11. 10, 11 probably. Later in the morning.
I do still need to sell that ruby.
I'm gonna go to Tamea and the kids, and then do my attunement.
Which one of you faces is the faciest? There are 3 of you. I think it's Amara.
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
And she's used her.
Then I need your help, Amara.
You can walk
That's
around
unfortunate.
and attune to the gloves. You just have to be like focusing on the gloves.
Yeah, don't get hit by an attack that would cancel concentration, I guess.
Yeah.
Don't get stabbed for being, a murderer.
A
Yeah.
bitch.
Well,
we gotta go visit Gadwin.
Is Tamea going to the manor with you guys, or is she staying back with the kids?
Well, like I said,
Kinda
if
thing.
if it hasn't approached noon, we probably should not go see Gadwin yet.
Currently it is 9 in the morning.
Yeah, it's too early.
That's fine for government business, is it not?
I'm gonna be
It's
careful.
sort of an emergency, a whole city burned down, and
I want to be
Yeah.
real. I don't work in the morning, but
Refugee
I gotta
crisis.
get up and I gotta shower and stuff. So
Thorkel
You can
does
go take care of the kids.
Yeah. Go take.
yeah,
care
I'm
of the
taking care of the kids.
Thorkel's
Prioritizing important things like some kind of scrub.
Thorkel doesn't care what fucking time it is. He's going to Gadwin.
Oh.
I'm gonna start tuning, but I'm gonna head out actually for a little while. So
I also gotta head out.
Yeah, it's fair.
Love you all.
Adios.
His
Except
only
those
game.
nosy children.
Well,
Wait.
Have a good night.
Good night, friend.
Oh, she actually was. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
that's what they meant.
I'm tagging along to Gadwin only because, I think this will be interesting.
Okay. All right. So I guess Amara is staying back to attune to those gloves, and Tamea is staying with the kids. All right.
You're not
Works
walking
out.
attuned?
Why he's
It's
not
fine.
going to be relevant to the scene, so.
But he had the stats.
Oh my god.
It's fine. We still have Bronson.
He also had the suspicion that goes with being a wanted criminal.
Yes.
Furthermore, a highly chaotic entity you can't really trust.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Trustable, I bet.
And so I'm saying we're going with that.
Oh,
We are in the shit.
in the shits.
We're not going back any further. I have said the thing. It's a fact now.
I didn't hear it.
So over.
I don't trust Amara generally as a merchant. I think she will do something unpredictable that causes the deal to fail.
How rude.
I'll take
totally
Thorkel with lower numbers because he's not going to be like, I punch merchant and mouth.
You won't give me deal? I kill you.
Only
How
time I'll
dare
do
you.
that
You're
is
tall? I'm not trading with you.
I'm not
This
trading.
leather wasn't shiny enough for my taste, so I'm gonna take it out of your till while you're looking away.
The ideal probably would have been Tim, but it's whatever.
But
All
Tim
right.
has to make the kids happy.
Yeah. Go play your role.
Children
kid.
love money.
Bye.
Famously.
All right. So, you guys are just heading down the main street, or are you guys cutting through the buildings?
No,
I mean,
I think
children
we
love toys, and toys are made of money, therefore children love
stay
money.
to the main street because the guards should see us
Arguably.
approaching, so
True.
that they can kind of do their whole announcement thingy that nobles typically have going on. Why we sent a message ahead of time to say that we would be calling on them.
Yeah, so they
If
can
we're
feel
gonna hire
important.
somebody, they have to be clean.
All right. Takes you guys. There's more people out and about now that it's in the morning, so it takes you guys about 15 minutes to get there.
All right.
As you approach the massive gates, you see a line of 10 guards standing out front. They see you. They see you approaching. Twilight Knights, right? A very grizzled human looks at you and says,
That is correct, sir.
uh, well, sounds good. Gadwin should be in the main chamber.
Well, lead the way.
Well, but before we go in, just need to make sure we have a catalog of everyone's weapons.
I am a weapon.
Yeah. You seem to be an experienced man of warfare and guardianship. You do realize that with his size, it doesn't matter. Not that we're here to cause trouble or anything, but the weapons that we have upon us are literally are not the instruments of warfare that we carry. It's the mind. It's how we see things. It's how we approach things. It's how we intimidate things.
We're magic casters, all of us. But
Yeah,
besides,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't really intimidate, but I could fill this room with fire.
Yeah.
You guys are outside right now.
this
I could fill
courtyard.
this outside with fire.
The point of it is that, regardless of weaponry that we do or do not have, trust that we're here for good purposes, and you're going to have a good day.
You have a
Yeah.
morning star, don't you?
Couldn't have been more suspicious.
I do.
Okay.
I'm not
so
here to bully you, friend.
Thorkel looks to the guard. I have a blessed great axe and a battle axe. He has a morning star. The ranger has a bow and daggers, and his armor and his spells are his weapons. He looks at Jack.
Well,
Dog.
the same as last time, and Gadwin seems to be all right with your presence. I think it's all right. Step aside, and the other guards step aside, and they begin to open the wrought iron gates. It kind of creaks open in the rain.
Thorkel leads the pack.
The pack.
The pack.
Wow.
He's the big guy, of course.
Mel
Good luck.
Gibson once
Oh my
impressed me with
God.
his
Fucked
racism
up.
skill because he referred
Uh-huh.
to a pack of, like a group of black people as, quote, a pack, which is so much more important and so much more insulting than, like, quote, a gang, because gangs are still humans.
Pat.
I mean, I'm a part of a tribe, man. That's
Demonetized.
crazy. Yeah, bro, I don't care if we're demonetized. To be fair,
We are a group
this is the
of
fourth recording
various
this night, by the way.
creatures.
Huh?
So I have one episode that's like 2 hours long, one that's an hour, one That's another hour. Now the new recording, which is this. But
These are really enjoyable. Please keep uploading.
I will.
Yes, yes.
Anyway,
Alright, so you guys head up the main steps into the Great Hall. And inside, let me. Not what I
Sav, I'm
need.
so sorry we got derailed so much.
We kind of did.
Like literally every sentence.
Yes, yes.
How dare you try to have your moment?
Yeah.
We
Hawk,
are
you.
content. Therefore, the derailing is content.
I agree. I agree. There wasn't as much yelling, you see, so that's why.
It's okay. I got my own moment earlier when I did the bar scene.
That's
I
true.
thought
There's
that
plenty
was
of big.
good.
There's plenty of bickering.
Not to mention that it was pretty funny. Sav getting drunk and
Yeah.
passing the fuck out.
Sav,
That was good.
I like Sav. He's good. All the characters
He's
are
a-
good.
Agreed.
He's a crazy son of a gun.
He's a crazy shit.
Oh,
My favorite
I
voice is
should
Turtle.
Also,
Turtle.
probably.
A lot of people enjoy Turtle.
This is Gadwin, by the way.
Did you post it in general? Oh no. That's Gadwin. Oh.
Gadwin's young.
He's a youngin. Okay.
Gadwin's a vampire.
Well, he's a
No.
successor.
He kind of
I bet
looks
he's
like it, to be honest.
probably killing his dad.
Yeah, we checked on that actually. My initial reaction was suspicion, but having snuck in and then like parachuted out, he was fine.
Yeah, but quote unquote Ruluer was like, they found the body who had the same tattoo. Maybe it's like a way older person and everyone in that family line has tattoos, but it's kind of weird.
He
I
has.
don't remember exactly
he
what
has
happened, but as a
hair.
suspicious bastard, I was satisfied.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you guys approach.
But-
That is actually Gadwin. That's actually insane. That is live footage of Gadwin right
Alright, so yeah, you guys approach the main hall, and you guys can see Gadwin. He's kind of sitting up on his chair. His leg is crossed over, and he's reading a book. He looks up. Ah, you've returned.
What up,
Good to
my
see you
Gad
again.
Wizzle?
Please don't regard me in that way.
I'ma think it.
That's fine. I just don't want that to assault my ears.
Jack bows.
I heard
Yeah,
you all were looking for me.
Well, I'm sure you've heard the stories and rumors by now. We figured it was worth a stop in here. We have some inquiries to make of you and perhaps some things you can help us with.
My lord, would you supply lumber and lime and stone? I can make housing for your refugees.
He just kind of regards all of you. We've already been making plans to start building new homes and possibly even an expansion on the city.
I was thinking a water filtration tower would be an excellent upgrade.
now. That's great to hear, Gadwin. Thorkel.
We get plenty of our own fresh water. It's perfectly fine on that, but no.
Thorkel
An
says-
aqueduct is attainable.
Well, I'll have to look into that. So what is it I can do for all of you?
I wish to talk to the people, but besides that, I wanted to see how everything is going with you. Do you have any questions for us of what happened at Frontgate?
Or needs.
I was worrying about that, having such a sudden mass of people show up at my gates, you see. While I do welcome them with open arms, I do have to worry. What exactly did happen up there?
A
He's
number
kind of
of
like
things, really.
he just kind of steeples his fingers.
A sort of riot, my lord.
It was a bad situation. There was a number of factors involved. But, I mean, we could call out several things. There were witches in play, there were panicked civilians in play, there was a disease out of control.
Ah, yes, the release of the bioweapons. This is important. And then Jack, Minor conjures a sheet explaining the BAWs,
Hmm.
handing it to the king.
There may have also been
Definitely not a king.
Earl, pardon me.
there was also
I'm
at
Dirk.
least in my opinion, a severe lack of leadership present within that city. Some of the
Well,
some
they
of the
had them, but
people
they
that
died.
well, whatever the case up, the people that replaced him weren't up to the performance. They weren't up to the necessary calling, I guess.
Hmm. Well, it is more people to worry about, and with this thing, uh, I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. I
Well,
able to filter it out myself.
as
With looking at everybody.
as far as the disease goes, there's the details. If any people do show signs of it, you need to isolate them. Make sure your guards know what to look for so that any infected are kept quarantined so that you don't further experience issues like Vrungate did.
The black humor is incurable, my lord.
Yes. Well, he just looks at the paper. Well, as for me, I do have a few questions of my own. Uh, do the last time you were here, are you still traveling with your horse companion?
We already know.
We saved her.
We have the real one now, and I'm sorry that we brought you trouble in that way. Are you talking about that our companion was not really herself?
He looks around. Yes,
That R'hllor is an outrageously powerful opponent.
yes, yes, he is. I was actually sent an invitation by him recently.
Interesting.
Did you take it? It's not
Well,
bad if you did.
What was the offer?
It's not like you can deny it, really.
he just looks at you. Well, you're right by that. I wouldn't really be able to turn down said offer. And one, it would be very suspicious to him, but he's having a banquet in the near future.
Mm.
And
And
I,
you're
I
the
am to
food.
attend. No, I have gone to a banquet of his before. It's a nice affair, but he gets under my skin a little bit. It terrifies me. I'm sure you would have
Weird.
seen that last time you had walked in. Very surprising on my end nonetheless, you see, have this renowned group kind of in my town, traveling with my lord, as it were. Very off-putting.
If I was a vampire, I'd usually like a wineskin.
I'm sorry we did not see through his deception. He has challenged us to a battle in Gilfrey.
Did you do that?
He
Like
did.
hyper publicly. Like in the clouds.
Not
Did
in the
he
city.
say that he wants to fight you?
I
Well,
don't think
he
he just
bring
kind of
your
said, "LOL, you
vengeance.
suck."
Bring your vengeance. Bring and he did see
1v1 me, bro.
he did say meet him in his castle, basically.
Guess it comes down to our paths lead toward confrontation. So one way or another, there will be more news in the future.
Well,
But
I am traveling to Gilfrey rather soon here. I'll be unfortunately staying there as well, preparing for the banquet, but
I almost wonder if that doesn't present an opportunity.
My
that's what I
lord,
was thinking.
are any of your guards of the heroic plateau? Or are they common?
my guards are strong enough. That's not to say that they could, defend me from Relure, of course, but I mean, I have my own strengths. I've been amassing strength.
Call on the Twilight Knights at your will. I would seek to put Relore in this ball.
Do you withdraw it?
I do. I show it.
He you notice he kind of like adjusts his posture when you do that.
This is the eternal darkness that will ensnare a darkness darker than black.
I see. Might I have a look at that?
I'll hold on to it, my lord.
Hmm.
Actually, use magical tinkering to project an image of it to him.
Like an upscaled, blown up Death Star.
Yes, exactly.
Well, this is fine and all, but my own arcane research, I may be able to.
I swore a gesh, my lord.
Hmm. Hmm. Well,
When are you supposed to leave for Gilfrey?
tomorrow, in fact. But this magical artifact here, it's there's an aura about it. Are you sure I can't look at that?
It's dangerous, my lord. It may well be one of the more dangerous magical items in this entire universe, such as it is.
Interesting. Hmm.
I have a question for you, and then I'll explain everything that happened at Broomgate.
He uncrosses his legs and sits forward. He motions for you.
What is your true goal with this realm? What do you wish for the people within it?
Well, I've been getting some help,
I'm watching his
and
body language.
I've been getting some help with that, and
Good man.
well, if I can, possibly take out Relure and lead the people of this realm myself. I feel I could do a much better job.
Seems like you've been doing a good job in the city. We've seen nothing but prosperity as we've been walking around the last day or so since we arrived. Prosperity and happiness and well-wishing and hope. I tell you, a city without hope, that's what happened to Runegate.
You Sav, you kind of feel a little off about him. You're not quite sure what to put your finger on, but
It's like there's more to the story that he isn't saying just yet.
yeah. Just add to the statement as a whole in regards to Thorkel's question.
Immediately hostile.
Well, that's good to hear.
Well, his statement was covering a multitude of things, but
Yeah.
anyways.
It is.
As many intentions usually are.
I mean, Thorkel doesn't know this yet. He didn't incite that.
Well, I probably put vibes out via the telepathic link.
Okay, well, you could say
Yeah, I
he's not
assumed.
lying
That's
or
why I was
something.
reacting.
Yeah, but yeah, hey, Slappy with the 26.
I'm helping.
I would just be like in the link. He's being clear, but maybe withholding some. It might be that he has suspicion on us, or there may be ears within this area that he cannot speak more forthrightly to.
He may be charmed.
Well,
Who will be your regent while you are gone? Is your father feeling good enough to lead again?
You see his face kind of drop a little bit. He looks up.
I'm gonna take
a somber look in his face.
I'm gonna
No.
take an account of all the individuals who are in the room. So his guards, personal staff, so on and so forth.
Currently there's at least 2 guards at around the corners of the room.
Yeah,
it's a pretty big room.
I'm just looking for. Yeah, I'm just accounting for all the people that are presently around.
Gadwin,
I am
Gadwin,
sorry to hear that.
Says, no, I'm afraid my father has passed.
He died? My condolences for your loss, my lord.
He shakes his head and he nods and says,
Likewise.
Unfortunately.
I saw him only days ago. I, against your will, snuck in to confirm his wellness. I healed him.
I'm sorry?
He was well only days ago. Not well, but like not dying.
About the part of you sneaking through my manor.
I had to confirm my lord, you are trustworthy.
Thought you said he didn't know that, Joey. What the fuck?
No, well, Jack just confessed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight up.
I'm not kidding.
He kind of like leans back a little bit.
A wizard must know, my lord.
Yes. Well, now that my father is unfortunately expired, that leaves me in the role of Earl of Terrell. So, I'm confident my my accountant can keep track of certain things and will act in my stead reasonably so while I'm gone.
Well, I will tell you exactly what happened in Rungate. Now, the refugees you see from Rungate came here because this town was simply burned to ashes. by the forces of R'hllor and his witches, of demons and abyssal creatures, of monsters and undead.
Hmm.
They had done a spell to the city and caused a great disease that is incurable by my remove curse, and I cannot affect it with my lay on hands. It is powerful.
I see. Well, it must be powerful if you tried all you could to remove it, even with magic. Uh, this, this does prove be problematic.
The witches have designed a weapon which is. They did not bother to design a cure, my lord.
No, we tried
What
on
is?
a
What
few
are you
different
doing?
people.
What are you doing? What is VB?
Vigilant blessing.
Oh,
It's the advantage on initiative if need be.
Yeah.
It's pretty subtle though, so I figure it don't matter if I just do it, just whatever.
I don't think he's gonna fight us for.
No, but it lasts until I do it again, so
Yeah.
it's
Fair.
just in place in case we need it or when we need it.
he
Legit.
he sets his book. He takes his book off his lap, sets it on the arm of the chair, and stands up. Well,
I'm a fairly accomplished physician, and Jack there knows his magic, so we gave it a whirl trying to see what we could figure out about the toxins imbued in that disease. And it
The
was beyond our
combination of
it was
medicine
beyond
and
our skill.
alchemy. Yes, we failed.
well,
All 6 of our subjects were killed.
Like I said, if your guards fought people that have been infected, they need to isolate them quickly.
The black
yes.
humor is
Well,
a death sentence.
Don't kill them because they explode and infect more. Just
Bit of a long
isolate
shot, but
them.
if you know anyone with soul cage, that might be experimentally interesting.
Yeah.
Just a note. They exploded when you gave them that stuff. You're not sure if they do it on their own.
Yeah, that's fair. We didn't have a control
Well,
group.
but we do know from talking with Amara and what happened at the gate that they also exploded upon
No,
death.
no, they didn't.
Truly the most reliable source.
I
Well,
think they
yeah,
just
there's
blew up
this.
because of how she killed her.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean, there are definitely
made them
some
blow up.
suspicion.
He had never mentioned them blowing up.
Yeah.
I mean, there was, the fire.
But we've also talked to
Some
the
eldritch.
guards, and
Yeah,
like
that's true.
there was enough
I'm not saying.
stories going around about all of that.
Guards never said they blew up.
I don't remember anything like
I
that.
don't remember the phrase blowing up, but it might have been the form of exaggeration. Because, quote unquote, blood mist, end quote.
I mean,
Yeah.
It was just he
the
was
thunderous step
slaughtering.
kinda does do that.
Amara was just slaughtering them, spraying blood everywhere.
The point is,
I'm just saying, I think that exact phrase appeared.
isolate anybody that you suspect is infected because there is no way around it, and bodily fluids seem to transfer the disease,
Yes, well, I'm sure.
blood and otherwise.
I will have my accountant reach out to Kestrel and see if he's able to do anything.
If you know any arcanists, they could manufacture the item, the Periapt of Perfect Health, and that would help your public servants.
Yes.
Oracle,
I knew of an arcanist a while ago, but I fortunately no longer talk to them.
Well, many citizens of
Give me an
Runegate
arbitrary
died,
money, and I may
and hopefully the
Oh.
disease was contained. But if it does make its ways this direction, be vigilant.
yeah. Oracle looks to Gadwin. For as much as the people of Rungate have lost, they are some of the strongest for bouncing back. Many of them wish to join the fight. to seek their vengeance,
Huh.
to provide protection to the realm, and for the future of it.
Well,
Yes, the number did speak up.
might I had taken off my headset because Drew was talking to me.
I suggested that he feed me infinite money on behalf of the noble to solve a nebulous problem.
Oh, well, are you? What are your plans as the group? What do the Twilight Knights plan on staying in my humble town, or where are you going?
We will be moving
But
on soon enough.
we head to Gilfrey to slaughter your false noble, R'hllor. I will put him in this ball, and he will face complete justice. The law.
We will free this realm from R'hllor and bring it back to the prime material plane.
I imagine we'll be on the road later today. But should your lordship see us there, just know that we are going with a cause.
That's quite just. Might I ask you a favor?
Thorkel nods his head.
I'll hear it.
Might I count on you if me and my associates so choose to, let's say, assault R'hllor?
It is already our plan, my lord. We will kill all of his witches, and then his false soul will be imprisoned.
Thorkel looks to Gadwin.
If you wish vengeance for the people, and if you wish protection of your city to make sure nothing of Runegate could repeat here, the Twilight Knights and the Twilight Legion will fight for vengeance and fight for the future of this realm.
I will free this place.
As you can see, the
There is a world.
motivation is pretty deep.
It's good to know that, that you'll have
Have you ever tasted
my
a
back.
crawdad?
Do you
It's
have
good
a
to know
sending
that
stone?
I'll have you there. Me personally, I don't. I have read about such things, but fortunately, I don't. No.
Jack, did you want to talk to him about the stone? Might be a good time.
We don't have
Stone?
another stone though. A sending stone.
No, not that
Oh.
stone.
I'm not sure I understand. Go on.
The little ball, like the Pokeball.
No, the gemstone.
Oh yeah, the
so
ruby.
the
Yes.
gemstone.
This is probably down to Thorkel for a persuasion check. We're looking to sell this rock. It's worth 300 gold, or
Oh, by the
whatever
way.
adjustment you put on it.
You
Well.
gave him the price.
He's extremely honest.
Well, it is a very nice ruby. Let's. What will I?
It would look beautiful on a certain hat, don't you think?
As
I
Gad-
imagine it would be fine if you'd like to inspect it for its quality.
as Gadwin is inspecting the ruby.
I will train the people of Vrungate, the refugees, the ones that wish vengeance, and I will train anyone who wishes to fight against the wicked, against R'hllor and his greed. I will show them the
Might
ways.
we ask you a question while we're having such an open discussion?
Hmm. Go
I'm
ahead.
sure your lordship has been able to observe things from a different angle than we might have. Who among Relur's associates might we have to be aware of or beware of? You know, who's a sleeper? Who's somebody who seems a friend but would certainly be working against us?
Amongst his entourage,
I would imagine that you've had since it seems you've had close dealings, you may have ideas about who his trusted allies are that we may not have any idea about.
Among the threats we acknowledge, the greatest is the prison warden. We would not have been able to deal with her,
hmm.
or would have struggled.
The bodyguard, I
Me,
remember her.
me personally, I just don't trust anybody that typically associates with him on such a personal manner uh, within Gilfrey. I just,
So
for me
what
and
you're
my
planning?
aspirations, I feel like I would be more exposing myself in Gilfrey.
Well, I'm sure that you have to move subtly.
Of course, it's a game of politics.
Of
Only
course.
this one will be bloody.
How is the state of Gilfrey? What does the city look like?
You've never been?
Never. Since I've entered this
Heard
realm.
nice things.
Well,
Full
We're
of
from
slums.
Mundus. Reality?
well,
I'm
the
from a
city
dome.
is the city is typically, it is comprised of three sections. The outermost section being the Wayne, as it's typically dubbed by the common folk. Uh, Very drab place. I would not feel safe walking around there myself. But as you go in closer into the center of the city, it's you move to the upper city. Uh, Much nicer. Much like my own here. Very clean. Uh, Bustling with business. Uh, Going in even further, you would be approaching the Gilded, which is typically where most of his entourage or other nobles of lower quality live. But Relure himself, well, you'll see where he lives approaching the city.
I mean, wizardly speaking, it's going to be a tower, wouldn't it?
Oh, of course, his castle is, like I said, you'll see it approaching the city.
Well,
Well, a wise man once said, "Don't attack a man where he is strong." So if we can ferret out some weaknesses, that's where we begin.
I think I'm going to submerge my tower personally.
where, how do you intend to communicate with us if you did need our help?
Oh, I suppose I could send a messenger.
Well,
You will you will know who this messenger is. I'll make very sure of that.
well, it is nice to know we have an ally. Thorkel puts
Would
his hand out.
At least potentially.
He gives you kind of a wry smile and reaches out and shakes your hand.
But for real though, hook me up with that concrete and lumber though, and I'll get you a longhouse for your refugees.
That is a fine idea, perhaps after we have dealt with the immediate problem, as I won't be here for very long.
We will
This
not
you
be arriving in Gilfrey at the same time you are, probably a few days after.
Well, don't wait too long. It's kind of a long. If you plan on walking, it's a long ways away, unfortunately.
Do you have horse and carriage?
I was thinking about asking about transportation, but
Well,
it's
for me, yes, they'll be sending horse and carriage. It should be arriving any. He looks around. Eh, tonight, early tomorrow morning.
I want to just bring it up because nobody has voiced it yet. But what if we were to travel with him and go to Gelfrey on as like part of his guard or incognito in some way?
Oh no, no, I feel with the commotion you all have caused, I feel he's not less to say, he was with you. He knows who you are. I feel well. I fear for
You are
my own
correct.
life if you were to travel with me. So I feel it
Yeah.
would be best if we were separate.
Well,
We have
maybe that,
riled him, but good.
yes, it possibly could be tipping his hand. But if if his spies are that numerous and you've just received us at your personal home.
Well,
Alas.
many people petition a lord without meaning anything. You could simply kick us out at the end and call us, forgive me,
It's
stupid assholes.
It may not be a bad idea as a
Thorkel,
ruse or something.
if you wish to travel near me, that's perfectly okay. But I really mustn't delay the carriage itself for the sake of you walking on foot. And I simply will not risk even being seen near you.
Listen,
We don't need your name, my lord. We have the authority called power.
actually, I have another thought, possibly. You've got some outlying farms that are supplying food and whatnot to the town here, I'm certain. Do any of
Yes.
those farmers are they in your do you have any that are in your good graces that might have livestock that would be capable of transporting us? Because a
No.
letter from you might be able to sway needs and get us transportation fairly easily.
Unfortunately, the only kind of livestock would be sheep.
I'm
No
not riding a
horses or
sheep.
oxen, huh?
Not very noble.
Unfortunately.
No.
That is
Perhaps for
why they're
clothing.
sending a carriage from Gilfrey. Good sir.
Well, that aside, we are going to be there within a couple of days.
on foot, how long does it take?
On foot? Oh, I mean, if you're
Has my
walking.
lord a pony?
Unfortunately, no. I've always wanted one, but no.
Lick buck.
If you were walking there, I mean, I can't imagine you'd want to run the entire time, but if you were to walk to Gilfrey, close to 3 days.
With the
You know,
amount
I
of
can't
time-
help but point out that getting into the business of raising horses might be very lucrative considering.
Yeah, I have brought it up to my father, but
Well, it's your choice to make now. If
very
it was
fair.
something you thought that was useful to consider in the past, well, this isn't.
The problem being Relure has control over the horses.
Maybe not much longer.
Very true. Help me get into power and I can change all of this.
It's not a bad business, I hear. Stallions and whatnot.
Well, it may be a week until we get to Gilfrey then, so do not make any moves while we are not there.
Fair enough. Well, just one more thing. Just one more thing. I have another request of you all.
Hmm?
You will be helping me get into power to usurp Relure, correct?
I'm gonna put Relure in this ball. I believe it shall encase him in eternal darkness,
It
from which
seems,
none may escape.
out of
Ah,
all
but
leadership I have seen in this realm, you seem the most adequate for the seat, yes.
People do need leadership.
fantastic.
The vacuum that or the
I-
chaos that fills a vacuum left by a lack of leadership is a dangerous thing.
Additionally, I shall punch him in the mouth.
I have one more question regarding Relure.
Of course.
What type of man is he? It surprised me, for as long as he deceived us as being one of our comrades, to mask himself as one of our comrades. Why wouldn't he just kill us when he had the chance?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to ask you to hold that thought.
That's a complicated question.
Hold that
No,
thought.
I gotta let my dog out, and then I've gotta take a shit really bad.
So
was a more
he,
immediate concern.
he's gotta think on it while taking that thinking shit.
Ugh.
Anyway,
Here, this is. Oh my god, just give me the original.
well, after he says whatever he's going to say when he comes back,
There.
I want to do one more thing with Thorkel, and then start heading for the temple and get it. But not with him regarding people of Round
I was kind of thinking it might be a good idea to have him throw us out or have it appear that the reception didn't go well.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. We'll discuss.
Yeah. So I was thinking.
Maybe even like if there's like a town prison or something, like shuffle us off like we're going to be
Acting.
detained.
Yeah.
Yeah, a ruse, but something to cover his ass if he does indeed have
I mean,
spies
we have
keeping
been
an eye
known
on.
to be in this town, and if Relure sees him as like, oh, he doesn't like the Twilight Knights, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and if he's like the sense I get is that he has to cover his bases, but he's openly received us.
Yeah.
And that if I'm Relure and I've got spies and they're watching him, that makes me suspicious.
Yep.
Which then undermines any action he can take in Guilfrey.
Is it that deep?
It is that deep.
Hmm.
I also want to have him kick out the people that want to fight with us, the Rune Great and whoever else.
Who wants to fight us?
Fight with us.
Oh, I see. To kind of like push them out.
Yeah.
You
That
want
might
to
take-
ban dissidents?
No.
That might take
That would
time
take
to
a
round
while.
them up and stuff.
Well,
So do any of you actually
martial
trust him?
law.
Plus, it gets really dicey between sorting out who's who.
Well, exactly.
Honestly, who cares what the commoners do?
Well,
if they come to fight, they'll just die.
Typical rich person.
Typical rich.
Typical noble. Who cares about the
yes,
commoners?
yes, this is 100% in character, but if they come to fight,
If we can get
They'll
pointed
die.
towards the if we can get pointed towards where a majority of the survivors are, which I think we already have an idea about where they
Hospital. But
yeah, well, north of the city too.
Yeah. Basically, I was gonna
noble noises. Noble noises.
As
Noble
Thorkel,
noises.
I was gonna be like, for whoever wishes for Vindicteus to guide their blade, follow me, and I shall teach you the way. You know, something like that. But
For some reason, I can't mute my mic, but basically,
Hibbity dibbity.
his internet's
Yeah.
going crazy.
Oh, yours doesn't flip up like mine does.
Yeah,
for some reason the button is
I
defective
think
to
we
this
need
one.
to be a little bit mindful of appearances.
Yeah, I agree. But I want to, at least get the message out to the people who want to fight. Start heading west. I already told them
I
where
don't.
to go. But
I don't think that's a problem. What, regardless of whether or not we're detained or pushed out of the city. I think being able to meet up with the commoners and then being like, hey,
Yeah.
I think is fine.
I mean,
For that matter,
they're partially under my responsibility, at least the ones that want to fight. So.
even if we have to split up and like move about in the city in separate places, we can be like, we're going to meet in the forest to the northwest. If you have a stake, if you have skin in the game that you want to do something about, find us in the forest northwest of the city.
Yep.
And then we wait for 2 days and then move out after that.
Well, yep. I mean, I was just gonna guide them to the. I want to talk to Lythan. That is a thing I am going to do.
Yeah, is Lythan here, or is that a person at the temple?
That's at temple. Yeah, that's at.
Well, yeah. So that's the next destination we probably head for.
Yep. So we go to the temple. We talk to Lythan for a little bit. We probably. Thorkel might do. We'll probably only be there for a day or two. I would only really want to be there for a day.
I don't think there's a lot of continuing business that we really have to attend to here in Tarl.
No, definitely not in Tarl. But in the temple, we get there because it would take a while to get to the temple. That's like if we're fast marching there, like basically 2 days. It could be 3 if we weren't fast marching.
Well, we're not going to be able to fast marching with a giant group of people.
Yeah, so it's going to take a little bit of time.
For that matter, we're going to have to move. If we're traveling with a large group of people, we are going to have to be more subtle about it. Otherwise, our movements are very really obvious.
Yep.
That means taking the long route.
There was a good amount of hunters and guards that had wanted to join too. There's a lot.
Then they may not be terrible at moving through the forest at a decent pace. Then.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. I'm not even basically the whole group of people of Rungate, all the survivors went fucking nuts at my speech, but
yeah, but that doesn't mean they're all qualified and ready to go fight.
No, I know that. I'm just saying that I'm not sure how many people are actually wanting to go to the temple.
Yeah. Well, we should be able to sort them out when we get up to wherever the survivor camp is, because there are going to be people that they have like the moment has settled for them, and like now they're comfortable with what their new situation is, and there's going to be people that are still motivated to keep going.
Yeah, this is truly their choice. It's not just like out of anger now. They've had some downtime.
Yeah.
If they choose
and Tarl seems like it's in pretty good shape for as far as taking on refugees and whatnot.
Yep. I'm pretty sure Gadwin's in trouble
here. Yeah, my impression is that he has to play it close to the collar because it's complicated.
I don't trust that bitch at all.
I'm kind of half and half on Gadwin.
Yeah, and we are handing him an ace as well because we've basically informed him that we're coming and this is our plan.
We haven't told him everything about the temple. I tried not to do that. I've only told him that there are people motivated to help.
Yeah, it's a bit metagamey, but like the main thing is like Joey loves throwing in trick cards.
Yep.
And also, everything about him is very suspicious. He's dodgy. He's not being fully truthful. His dad died very suspiciously.
We have Relure told us about a body in the basement. So, but anyway.
Yeah, it is very sussy.
So, I mean,
well, like I said, main thing to do immediately is probably part on at least suspicious.
A bit suspicious. Yeah.
Suspicious allegiances, so that it doesn't look like he's our fan or vice versa.
I'm glad you read me on doing that insight, by the way.
Blah 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 blah.
When you did that insight earlier, when I asked him that question, I'm glad you understood the assignment.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically the plan. If we could get
maybe a little bit of acting and be like, get out of here, Twilight Knights, and we get the.
Okay, there we go. Mic
Well,
works
I would,
again.
if it was me, I would be harsh because I feel like that sends he can't overplay his hand, but he can't underplay it either.
Yep.
I think Jack 10's more lawful than good, because, like, occasionally I've detected Tamea being like, holy shit, why aren't you kinder? And he's like, rules.
And
I don't think I would call you good.
I'm gonna be real.
He destroys evil. It's fine.
I'm gonna be real with you right now. I feel like Terrell's in more danger than the Temple right now. I know that sounds weird, but
It could be. It's a bit major population center.
They're
and,
correct in stating that the temple is a priority target of Terrell. So, like, if Terrell were wrecked, the temple would be gone first.
But,
Yeah, I mean, I think the temple is the major military target, and
Yeah.
Terrell is possibly a plague target, but
The
also
idea of
everyone
keeping
who's going to
children
the
with us is
temple.
cursed.
I mean,
Yeah, I think the children should not be at the temple
well,
They
again,
shouldn't be, like, associated with us, I'm sorry.
at
Well,
all.
at
Unless
least
we get a pause menu.
if Tamea is not going to be sticking with the group and she's out of the action, and
Actually, if
essentially this
Maya's
is like her
bullying works,
out.
it'll be fine.
well, that's the plan.
Yeah.
To make it so because she
But
won't
it
be
also
here
kind of
as
sidelines her
often.
character, so.
Yeah,
But she's.
and it's
I'll ask Maya more about it, but she seemed down. But
Tamea isn't exactly how would I say it, blends in very well.
Literally,
So
everyone comments
I mean,
that she's a horse lady. Is that what you're saying?
yeah.
I'm saying that wouldn't be very hard to find her.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't need to
You're right.
be. They don't need to be at the temple either. But
Well, we all stick out in particular ways.
yeah.
Thorkel's a giant.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
a-
I am the only one who blends in.
Yeah,
Jack could
Rowan's
pass
really
with
good.
palette swap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. But like Sov is purple translucent skin. Like
Yeah.
And deeply
it almost
schizophrenic.
looks like I'm well, like it almost looks like I'm immaterial.
Yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
are.
That's
You
not gonna
fools, don't
blend
you know
in.
I'm a villain? I didn't wash my hands.
But I'm gonna be totally honest. Anywhere in this realm is not really safe for anybody right now.
Oh, certainly
Yeah.
not.
I just think the temple is the least safe.
Again, it doesn't have to be the temple. I'm just saying.
Exactly. That's what I was fighting back
Yeah.
against. Is not the temple.
I'm just saying there was the idea. I mean, Lythan is champion Vindicteus.
You want a safe outcome for the kids and an outlying farm outside of the city where there's nature and animals and plant life.
Getting them adopted into a farmhouse would just be safer because if an outbreak does happen in the city, they
It
wouldn't
would
be
take
as
a while.
Well,
Yeah, it would take a while to
They
get to
could
them.
escape.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Tameo could go in the forest or on the farm.
The Pokeball contains a demi-plane, which could be, through certain Arcana checks, corrupted to be a pause menu.
I'm gonna be real with you right now. I think the idea of those characters, those kids becoming player characters in the future is a pretty rad idea. Just saying.
It is. Yeah, sure
I
it is.
get that. It's
Every look at what just happened with Critical Role, right? Or well, it didn't just happen with Critical Role, but you know, it's a big deal that Matt was able to start a campaign world in story 1, and then those characters still exist in campaign 3, and they've been able to meet them their former selves and stuff, and there's all this history that's happened.
Yeah.
So like every D&D player has that idea of longevity of character or continuation of a story or legacy.
Exactly. So
Jack's gonna become an immortal being. Well, pseudo-immortal, like 5,000 years.
Yeah. I've been saying it this whole campaign. I think Thorkel's the most risk of dying. I'm not gonna lie.
I think you say that
Jack
'cause
would
you are.
heroically sacrifice himself for essentially no reason.
I don't know. I think me and you are both pretty at risk of dying.
I guess
Me
we'll
and
see what
Jesse.
happens.
Yeah, we'll have to see, but that's been my prediction. Is
Yeah, you
Thorkel
do
or
have
The,
like
the,
Killer?
22
one
armor
I'm most
though.
willing to sacrifice, though, is Amara. By far.
Yeah.
Amara is very close. Is
That is
probably
the
will
hope.
die.
Well, here's okay.
Well, Amara won't
I'm
sacrifice himself.
I'm gonna be real
But I'll
with you right
sacrifice
now.
I happen to
Little,
know for out of character reasons we'll need a soul, and I'm hoping it's hers.
her.
I'm being completely real with you right now. It was a little bit metagaming that I didn't kill Amara, okay? But it is a miracle
Well,
that Thorkel was like, I'm not going to kill you.
it makes sense when he played his character wrong.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Well,
mean,
she's chaotic evil, I'm essentially sure, so he's doing it right.
yeah.
he's pretty
Really
good.
taking some risks in Tarl, too.
Really
Some
picking
risks.
some risk, yeah.
I had a set of plans if we
Yeah.
were confronted.
If it comes
There's a
down to
slim
it again,
possibility it comes down to chaotic neutral, in which case she doesn't have to die.
I mean, if it comes down to it again, I'm not sticking my neck out to save her again.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Oh,
either.
no.
She's
Oh,
had
no.
her opportunity if she
Hey,
to
man.
choose redemption.
There
They're
were,
already out on a branch.
She's playing it like she's not as evil as she was.
yeah. It really comes down to, I'm really hoping her redemption arc really starts when we get to the temple. That's what I'm really hoping. But I the thing that kind of
That
confused
whole
me.
deal with the pack did not
Yeah.
did not influence me well.
Oh wait.
Well,
The
that's
Wolfpack?
metagaming.
What I mean, do you any of you know any details about that? What
With
was
what?
going on with that?
Oh, with the
Attack. Yeah.
with the deal thing.
Very suspicious.
I
Yeah.
wonder if
So
you
Very
can, like,
suspicious.
well,
Arcana check it.
this
Like,
is
figure it out.
two things that have confused me about Amara.
You
Amara's a
smell
fine
like
character.
fiend.
She's a great conflict to Thorkel. They're literally different, like opposite. They are opposite
Yeah.
in every way.
Foil. The
To
word
their
is foil,
physical,
sir.
to their physical appearance, their beliefs, to how they treat people. Literally the opposite in every way. To their weapon, it's everything. But
She does seem to
Okay.
view people as, like,
I would say
functionalities, doesn't
totally
she?
Alright.
opposite.
to finish off what I was saying, one thing that did confuse me is Amara seemed like really into, well, not really into it, but she seemed a lot, a lot more mournful, a lot more, like redemption the arc with the first confrontation of Thorkel and Rowan. But
Penitent?
the second session though, after that, with the wolves and stuff, and like,
Yeah, Storm was playing
no,
it weird. I don't
Oh,
know.
no, that was
yeah,
like night and day, rather.
yeah,
Snap, kaboom, immediately casual.
see that was what confused me mostly, because then she was like,
It
"You're
was
not
like
my
light and
dad."
day, as I incorrectly said.
And now she's kind of back to more mournful.
yeah. So it
Maybe he was just having a bad day. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't
Their
think any
horn
of her
got cut off.
emotions can actually be trusted.
they are chaotic, but you get what I mean. Speaking of, real
Yeah.
quick before we get back to the session, how did you guys? I think the second episode with Thorkel stalking Amar was really fun.
I think you fought a lot for essentially nebulous reasons.
You kind of did teleport to her.
She is definitely fucking around, so I understand, but
just the conflict is what I'm talking about.
Like when she
it
shot
tastes
you.
good. It's flavorful, if that's the question.
Yeah,
It's worth paying attention to.
I think I've had fun the whole time.
Yeah, well, that's the main point of the game.
Yeah.
Alright. So, your question to Gadwin was what is his opinion of Relure?
What type of man is Relure, and why did he not kill us when he had the chance? Why wouldn't he just kill us, basically?
Activate detect thoughts. Just read the surface for now.
You just detecting his thoughts?
Just, getting a sense of the bubbles that are effervescent on the top of his head. I'm not delving deep, so he shouldn't be, like, freaked out by, like, get out of my mind, Charles!
Alright, no Holocaust projections I see.
Holocaust beam.
Yeah, he thinks on it. Hmm. Hmm. Well, I would not trust him. Not nearly as far as I can throw him, and I don't know if you can tell by my physique. Nothing compared to yours, my uh, large compatriots. I can't throw him very far. But he does have an air about him of trying to be noble in some way, but again, I would not trust him as far as I can throw him. Hence
Well,
why I'm trying to dethrone him.
I understand that. It's just been a question on my mind.
Um, his surface layer thoughts, more or less are the same. He doesn't trust him. Um, so
Well,
Roger. It was
um,
just a additional layer of security that was technically cheap.
security, huh?
I
I can kind of trust this more.
have. I believe our party has thought of a way for you to make sure no suspicion is on your back when you go to Gilfrey.
Hmm.
You can kick us out of Terra alongside the ones who wish to fight with us, to give the look of you not being supportive of the Twilight Knights.
You do that, you'll have to have some sort of reason why you did it. Or make a show of it, because if you think you've got spies around here, you want to send the right type of message.
Jack sighs deeply and says, I have reason to believe that members in our number have committed serious crimes, my lord. That could be a reasonable excuse for any manner of treatment.
No, I would not risk you losing face with the people here. You see, they
Jack
trust
hides
you,
his
and
face at this time.
they trust you, and I trust you, and I need you. So you know, I have to have, I have to have fingers in many pies. I have to have many things going on at the same time. So, no, I don't think I'll throw you out.
Yeah, that might make dealing with the refugees a little bit more complicated, certainly.
Yes, them especially.
Although, it is worth saying, we're going to be talking to them anyway. And we can quiet any fears that they might arise for any type of mistreatment.
Since
I think it would be in your interest to play the safe role and be more wary of Ruler and any potential spies they might have around here. Unless you completely trust everyone that may have seen us arrive here today.
I see no reason why not to trust you all. You've
Oh, I'm
been
not talking about us. I think we have a fairly good agreement. I'm
eh,
I'm talking about word getting back to Roller and then undermining any activity that you might want to undertake there in Gilfrey.
fair enough. It is something I often have to contemplate, who I can trust, but I'm very certain I can trust my personal guards here. as well as my
Yes.
accountant. He's been with my family for quite some time.
The Twilight Knights are going to guide the people who wish vengeance, but how many have already left the city to the west?
Hmm. Oh, I'm unsure. Let me check. He walks over to a table on the side of the room and picks up a ledger and he starts flipping through it.
The daily comings and goings.
There's a lot
Mm,
going on today, then. Or yes.
It seems the guards have mentioned at least 50 some odd individuals that were arriving with the Rungate survivors.
Anyone we know? History check, I guess.
Well, it was
It's
the question of if they
it's
left
not
to the west.
yeah, it's nobody that's like specifically got their name down.
Yeah, it's
just-
more like tick marks, probably.
It's more,
It's
yeah.
All right,
it's a 50 some odd group of them had
some
split
guys.
off.
Yep. Well, Thorkel nods. They are already headed to their path. We're going to leave soon now. It was great talking to you, Gadwin, and I'm glad we have found an ally.
It was
You as well.
worthy to meet a noble, sir.
Thorkel starts to leave, and he's
Oh.
gonna...
What about the gold? The
Oh,
gold
that's
for the
true.
gem.
Oh, that's true. Thorkel turns around before he leaves and has the gem in his hand as he turns around. Well,
Oh yeah, we should do a persuasion check for the value of the ruby.
I am going to be honest, Gadwin. I am very low on funds. Is there anything you can trade me with this ruby? I believe it is about 300 gold pieces worth.
Seated in a gold fitting, it would be majestic, my lord.
I unfortunately have no interest in wearing a crown. It's a bit garish in my opinion.
Jack curses in Draconic.
Well, listen. That said, I imagine that you know people, particularly in Guilfrey, that would be well into such a thing.
A gift, perhaps.
Maybe, maybe it might win you some favors that you may have not had the opportunity for beforehand.
But
Front is the gold, and of course you'll have that to pass on to whoever you choose.
But to be honest, I am very low on funds, so it'd be nice if I got some money.
Honestly, I was hoping for lumber and cement. Was gonna crank out an orphanage.
They have an orphanage.
Well, yes, I suppose I would be willing to part with some of the treasury for this. You make some good points.
Do you want me
I'm
to
sure
do
a man of your
persuasion?
stature does not need a gem as well as is. I'm sure goodwill and favors go much farther than gemstones.
I'll just put a persuasion out there. Ha! +6 and everything. That's crazy.
Enhanceability. Enhanceability.
Okay. There we go.
Yes, definitely the 21. Definitely.
I didn't need to roll that.
Another enhanced ability? Okay.
No, I didn't mean to do it.
Well, I mean, I could try to get a net 20.
Triple advantage. Ooh. Ah.
That's a little too metagamey.
Okay.
We'll apply a separate number boost to the skill and then advantage, and that'll provide the greatest advantage.
8 D4. Damn it.
22.
That's very funny.
I suppose I could part with some gold and some silver for this. I'd be willing to part with 5 gold pieces and 3,000 silver.
Nah.
Wha-
300
3,000
becomes 5. Get fucked.
3,000.
No,
Your
no,
math
no.
your math is off. First of all.
3,000 silver is
ruby?
300 gold, my friends.
The ruby?
That's above its value.
Yeah, 3,000 silver is a lot more than its value. We take this deal.
How much is a gold versus a silver again? I thought it was 100.
10 to 1.
No, it's 100.
That's
100 to
quite
1.
decent. That's quite
No,
decent.
it's 100. Every denomination
Well, then
up is 100.
I have a lot more money than I currently have.
5,000 divided
Every
by 100
100
is
silver
50
is 1
gold.
So
Every
3,000 silver and yeah, okay.
30 gold.
I
35
have
gold.
so much money then. No wonder
Gross.
I've been playing so over the top for things.
Well, no, it's every 100 silver is 1 gold, so.
In your world, in 5e, it is 10 to 1, sir.
I know.
But and I'm perfectly fine if you want to do 100 to 1. But that just means that I've been converting my money wrong because I didn't know that was what it was. So every time that I subtracted a gold, I was only giving myself 10 silver.
Occasionally on a deal, I was like, wow, your number balance is fucked. But given this additional data, that makes sense.
On what? What are you talking about?
Because he was under the impression 3,000 silver, every 10 silver was 1 gold. So
There was
Like,
some transaction
literally
earlier that I can't
earlier-
remember earlier that I was
earlier
like, wow, that's
tonight-
like extremely low.
Yeah, like earlier tonight, I converted 1 gold to get 10 pieces of silver so I could subtract 25 silver from my inventory for the meals and drinks and stuff that we had.
yeah, it's 100 silver. Yeah.
When I was
Yeah.
buying those
So
kits, I was like,
you'd-
why isn't this like
So it's
35?
if
But
you were to,
I get it
if
now.
you were to convert it to gold, he's giving you 5 gold pieces and 3,000 silver. So that's in total 35 gold if you were to just round it up.
Oh,
So.
no one. Yeah, so that's way under way under value of the gem. But
Yeah.
it's something.
No sale.
I mean, it's only 10 times under.
You are out of your mind, but okay.
I kind of want to take.
If it's worth 300 bucks, I'm gonna want at least 50.
You could barter.
You certainly can.
Yes, that's why I have the faces, but no dice. Even given enhanced ability, the best
That
I
is
could
a
do.
pretty hefty sum. In
Yeah,
fact, like
money
this
seems
is
to be
a
pretty
super
rare.
big amount.
I'm
Yeah,
not
money
arguing with
seems
you,
to be pretty
Joseph.
rare in these
I'm
parts.
just saying that I did the best I could do, and this appears to be the result.
Well, I mean,
Is the best that he could do.
yeah. I mean, they're not really that wealthy here.
I think technically Amara was the best bet, but not currently available.
No.
Well, you have other options to use for silver as well. So
Yeah,
true.
fine. I'm not worried about it. I'm just saying, like, I did my best. I have no regret.
So, are we taking the deal or not?
it's a lot
No.
of silver.
There's a lot of silver.
I'm not into it. If you somehow force me, then whatever. But talk to the dragon.
The only complication of it comes that we just offered the Lord of a potential ally the favor in order to get some funds to do what we need to do.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
even.
I am
Okay.
essentially certain I could incinerate this man at will.
But if we turn him down at this point, we're putting him in a really awkward position.
If it goes awkward and he chooses to make a violent decision, then he will find violence.
No, I don't think he's meaning that. He's just meaning like it might benefit us just to take the deal in the future.
More or less, as the keeper of this item and a person on the way to be a dragon, I am not letting go of it based on these conditions.
Understandable. Okay, so Thorkel looks to Jack, and I'm guessing Jack's like giving them a no look. Yeah.
An ambitious grin.
Ah. About
This is not enough.
okay. Thorkel looks back to Gadwin. I'm sorry, but it believes my companion would wish for more in order to give you this ruby.
Hmm.
Perhaps there will be other opportunities.
Worry not, my lord. We have many magical applications for such an item. If our concerns exceed thy concerns, it needn't worry.
Well, that is a shame. Oh, that was a sizable amount from my coffers, but that's not enough, then fair enough. When will you all be in Gilfrey then? When should I expect to have you near me?
It takes like 2 days to get to the temple. Yeah.
I
I'd
was
imagine
planning to jog
It takes
there
a little
soon.
over. It takes like 8.5 hours to get to the temple.
Oh, okay. Way shorter than I thought
It
was.
takes a little over 12 hours just to get to Neum.
Yeah. Okay. So
If we're not building a second orphanage, then I think we should take no less than 2 days to arrive, my lord.
I
we
was
have an
going to say a
orphanage.
week, but I was being generous.
It was about Thorkel looks
Did
to
you not
Gadwin.
plan to jog?
Have you met me?
Did you not do cardio, sir? Sirs?
Sirs. Thorkel looks to Gadwin. For our other business before we go to Gilfrey, 5 days about, I believe. 5, 6. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more.
Yes, well, currently, as the invitation is dated for me, you know, I will be there for a handful of days. And as I mentioned, the carriage will be coming for me either tonight or tomorrow morning. But from now, the banquet is slated for 6 days from now at 9 p.m.
Thorkel takes note of
Good to
this.
know. Yes, yes.
This is
And if
good
I were
information.
you, Lord, I would find the means to protect yourself from poisons, at least subtly.
I've heard tell of a certain serpent earring. It looks sick, my lord.
Thorkel looks to Gadwin. The dragon is beating its wings, beating the drums of war, calling us to battle. We will be there when you are needed.
Okay, so you guys are doing what then? You guys,
Going out.
because you got it's so if you're looking to do anything roughly, it's because he had mentioned it's about 3 days of traveling to Gilfrey.
So
from Terrell.
Yeah, I
Standard
imagine
jaunty
we'll
pace, I
gather up
think.
the party and start making our way
Yep. So
out of town.
If you're going to the temple, that's 8.5 hours.
Yep.
What are we doing about the children?
Kind of important
I'm,
to shut that out.
I'm about to do the
Sorry.
things. So, very quickly here, we're gonna gather Tamay and the kids, and not Amara, actually. No.
I don't see how she would relate to children in any way.
No, it's a part of it. We go to the hospital, not the hospital, the church, and we go up here because the main amount of people have run gate for here.
Why not drop them off at the hospital?
That hospital
Exactly.
filled with blood, dry blood, dead body. No. The church maybe.
Isn't there an orphanage?
There was
There is
an
a
orphanage, but we already know that that's not an option
that's
for
that's not
Tamea
going
and
to
Really?
happen.
Oracle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy.
With only a modest
Because Tamea is
investment,
already
there can be a
staying.
double orphanage.
Oh, I guess.
But
Mm.
anyway, we gather up Tamea. We gather up. I'm gonna go up here and talk to the people of Front Gate as many as I can. Tell them if they seek their vengeance, if they seek, well, anyway, we'll get there when we get there. But yes, we're
You're gonna
headed up
be
here.
okay. So you're carousing. Is that what you're doing?
We're getting to Maya. We're carousing, seeing if there's still a good. We're gonna go up here see if there's still a good group of Run Gate people up there, right?
Can carousing be used to spread an opinion?
Sure.
I mean, carousing.
Well, there you go.
You're going around talking to people.
Yeah, and
Trying to help them decide what to think.
gather up and start headed to the temple right after that. And Rowan, I'm gonna give you the assignment of going to Amara and keeping her out of sight.
Just so you're aware, you guys are
If you want
probably
to.
going to need to take long rests as well, which
Yeah.
are 8 hours apiece. So that's gonna be take that into account on your travel time as well.
How long does it take before exhaustion occurs? Just curious.
21 hours.
I would probably sleep around 18 hours based on just normal inclination.
Any
21, you said?
Well, 21 is typically when you're cognitively on the same level as a drunk person. So yeah,
Does Khan have an interaction?
not really. No.
Alright.
Anyway, finish that. Browsing, getting to Mary, getting the group, and then we're headed to the temple. And then, after talking to Lythan for a short period of time, like a few hours,
So-
then we go and go to Gilman.
So, again, just so you're aware, there are no weapons over there.
Weapons at the temple? Well, we do
Yeah.
have a certain person called Jack with plenty of
Yeah, it can print weapons.
Well,
You
not,
do.
not
I
Yeah,
mean,
you
crank
guys
them out.
do have those weapons you found at the house. Yes.
that's what I'm
There are
saying.
40 pounds of currently existing
But
weapons,
there's definitely
guess.
not going to be enough to arm 50 plus people.
Well, that's fine. It's fine for now.
Depending on weight, I think you'd be able to arm between 20 and 40 people.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to so I'm gonna
It depends on what they want.
My thinking with the silvered weapons is experience and those who seem the most combat capable, like the most
Sure.
get the silvered weapons. They're more of the elite. And for the people that have no combat experience and are completely untrained, they would keep training for a long time. Building spears isn't that hard, especially during this sort of era where spears are.
It is excellent.
So you're gonna have them use wooden spears?
I mean,
Well, I mean, anybody can use a dagger. I'm sure we have plenty of daggers
well,
made of silver.
it doesn't have to be wooden, but all I'm saying is a spear and shield for a few hundred years was pretty good. So I'm just saying
But
it doesn't have to
I'm
be
saying
elaborate.
where are you getting the material to make to give them a metal spear?
You can make a spear out of wood. Give me some wood. Give me
You can
some
make a
wood in
pretty
like
damn
4
good-
hours.
You can make a pretty damn
I should
good
be able to
wooden
arm
spear.
20.
So your plan is to arm some of these people with silvered weapons and the other ones with wooden spears, and you're throwing them at
Again,
vampire
I think wood
soldiers.
/ steel would be the ideal for like. I think a wood spear is the industry standard.
Against vampire soldiers.
again,
The haft is wood.
they do not need the fight right away.
If you want it to be unusually durable, we could like bless it and like say a poem.
But that is a problem for when we get to the temple. And I remember there we smelted plenty of the silvered weapons there, but I remember some of the weapons still being there. It was just not as many.
No, you emptied their storeroom to
I have
produce.
another 40 pounds of weapons. We took everything I
Yeah,
could carry.
that was from the Thrasier home. Yeah.
Yeah. The people that
Yes.
I'm thinking of as quote the Helsings end quote.
And that's a good start, I gotta say. And hell, okay.
We
There's
also have some silverware.
Guess what else we have here? A blacksmith.
Yep,
Okay, so
No,
two of them.
not Jack. I'm talking about the one in the town.
oh,
The
okay.
lady, Trinka.
And that blacksmith can definitely help in making weapons. And there's a lot of business for her. But
So
that
you're
is,
you're buying her weapons then.
I mean, it could. A
I
quick,
think he has a hypothetical contract with her to create weapons.
I was gonna speak with
I
her, but
yeah.
I'm imagining your future, sir.
yes, I was gonna speak with her and maybe get some favor from Gadwin. I could do that right now. Uh, at I'll RP it out real quick, I guess. Gadwin, in order to arm some of the people who wish to fight against Relua, instead of using those funds to help us, to give us those funds for the ruby, you could help us build weapons to arm the people, all those who wish to fight back.
Mere common steel, or even simple iron and coal would suffice, my lord.
Trinka is a great resource, and she is very talented.
Yes, she is. She helps make the armor and the weapons for the guards of this fine city. Yes.
If only you had priests.
Um, I can see what she's able to spare, but I can
It's a start.
certainly send a requisition to her.
It's a start. That's all I ask.
All right. So are you going to talk to any of the people, any of the run gate guards, or are you just like the people
Yeah,
that are trained in
yeah,
fighting,
yeah,
or
yeah. That was my intention.
okay?
They'd be decent. Would be decent instructors at like an orphanage.
Yeah, I mean, I was planning on talking to the front gate guards and the Silver Tang Cut gang, because it seemed a lot of them were into going to the temple. But
Okay. Well, if you're going to do some carousing, we can do that together with that. So,
yep.
all right. So you're going to be carousing in what area?
Upper city, where most of the front gate people are coming from, like over here or over here, and the church too. So
In the church.
yeah. So
Okay.
basically, like all up here, and then eventually to the
Okay.
church too.
So, go ahead and roll persuasion 3 times for once for each area.
Gotcha,
And
gotcha.
that's once, twice, and then 3 times up at the church.
All right. So
We'll go ahead and give him enhanced ability for charisma, so he has advantage.
okay. Thank you, thank you. Persuasion going once. Persuasion going twice. Ooh. Persuasion going thrice. Not so good. But hey, something. The rolls are completed.
Okay. So, I mean, you're able to convince another 16 civilians and 8 of the guards to go along. So that's the kind of general consensus. Some of the people that were fired up, now that they're in a nicer city, kind of want to stay put with their family and friends.
I kind of
But
figured that might end up being the
Yep.
case.
We did think of that.
yeah. So in total, you've gotten 24 more people to go to the temple.
Yep.
8 of which are guards.
Yep. It's a start.
I'm gonna pull Jack and Thorkel aside for just a second. I don't know if you've given any thought to this, but this might be the right time to part ways with Amari. We're going to a place where a lot of motivated people are looking to answer for all the things that happened at Varun Gate. And Amari certainly caused her portion of the pain there. I don't think it's in our best interest to have her tagging along where all they are going to be.
I don't agree at all. She's
I
a
was
good
gonna
guy.
ask, what is your purpose for going to the temple in the first place?
Talk to Lythan, mostly.
Maybe
She might be a bit troubled, but she's ultimately a good guy.
What do you plan on asking him that you couldn't try to convey through prayer?
Well, making a plan, but I mean.
Oh, there's also one other thing I was kind of thinking. Once we get out away from the city, it might be worth our while to do another divination, and just ask the powers that be if the magistrate there was being straight with us, if we can trust what he's given us as far as information goes.
What about the last witch coven too? Do we know where that is?
Yeah, it's thought. Lythan had mentioned that him and Shala and Titania, when they were doing their rounds, kind of investigating throughout the land, kind of together, all 3 of them have come to the consensus that the last witch coven should be somewhere within Gilfrey.
Okay.
They predicted that it's most likely near Relur's castle, but that's just like their assumption.
Maybe
Like an
we don't all
educated
need to go
guess.
into that temple area. Maybe we can hang back.
Yeah.
That would certainly solve the issue. I just feel like we don't need to stir the pot for. We don't need Amara to stir in the pot for all those people that might have conflicting feelings about her, you know?
I agree completely, but I could try to
I can't
send
agree. Amara's a good guy.
Amara needs time. But
they're going to need time too, is the point.
I agree, but I could try to send messages through the gods, but I could try
You
to
are,
pray.
not for nothing, but you are sending Tamea there.
That is true. That's very true. Okay, yeah.
I'm like 70% sure she's in lawful.
Oh.
Well, if not lawful good, then good.
Not only that, you guys you are crunched for time because it's gonna take you a while to get to the city, and if the banquet is in 6 days, if you're gonna spend the time going to the temple and then back, you're not gonna have very much time to scope out the city.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah,
There
Tamea's already
was
headed there.
there was one other thing that kind of impressed me about that. It seemed to me that if Riddler has bad intentions, then gathering up nobles in the area, like at a banquet, and then culling the herd might accomplish things.
Yeah.
So
we need to stop.
Yeah, I just feel like, okay, there's a ticking clock here, and that like
We don't
getting
have
there
time.
before that banquet might be in our best interest if we want to interfere with Riddler.
again,
I'm
I'll-
gonna beat him up.
It'd probably mostly be the guards, but well, the logistics of things. So I'll tell Tamea the message I want to be passed on through to Lythan, and I'll DM you and Tamea what I'm going to say. Just speed it up a bit. And
I'm just saying, I'm just laying out the
Yeah.
options for you, and taking a step back. So
yeah.
if you
Yeah.
can, if you want to go to the temple, you can. I'm just letting you know
yeah.
what the outcome would be.
Yeah, we don't.
I've been thinking. And Tamea can carry all the silvered weapons that you have at the moment to the temple to at least start off all the
But she's got to watch the kids.
Yeah, well, she doesn't have to train them. She gives them the Lythan, and Lythan gives the weapons to the ones that earn it.
What about the kids, though? Are they going to be traveling with just her?
It's her and everyone at the temple, yeah.
Oh, but she's bringing the kids there.
Well, she doesn't have to stay there.
She
though.
doesn't have to stay there.
She can return to Tarl, or she can decide what's in the
The
best
she is a
interest of
horse.
the kids after
The
the
most
fact.
important thing about it is she's faster, right? And
Yeah.
she's also a player character. A little metagaming, but she's a player character and can get information to him much more clearly than a random guard. Okay? And then
Yeah.
then she can go off to a farm somewhere. Okay?
If only I could devise some sort of item that would share experience at a distance.
But
Level them up.
But besides that, to get to the point, yeah, logistics of things. You give Tamea the weapons, she delivers them to Lythan. She tells Lythan about the situation a little bit, okay? And we head to Guilford. And guide
It's
the.
probably not a bad idea to relegate tasks.
Yeah, basically, Tamea will guide the people that we just gathered up to go to the temple and deliver the weapons, the ones that we have now, and I'll DM all the information that I want her to know and you to know, Joey, about stuff, and get all that little logistics going. And it's not like every single one of them have to fight at the last battle anyway. If there's some 14-year-old kid that wants to join because both their parents died, yeah, he's looking for vengeance, but I don't want him going against Verluer's top badass
So you,
bodyguards.
to be clear, you are encouraging child soldiers.
To be
No, he's-
clear, I am not encouraging child soldiers, but at the same time,
Oh, for sure.
He's empowering their own choices.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you
Okay,
be a child soldier,
it's
but
like-
here's a weapon.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I was a child
This
soldier.
choice bullshit is totally like, you know, I didn't tell him to kill himself. I just gave the suicidal person a noose. I just gave him the choice.
Hey,
Yeah,
man.
I get
That's essentially
those
what you're
kind of
doing right
people.
now.
Hey, man.
Hey,
It's
at
just
least
Like,
the
they would
children
never
aren't
be able to make this terrible choice if you didn't give it to them. So it is totally your fault
at
if they die.
minimum, at least the kids
Like 100%.
aren't along for Amara to try to make pacts with.
Yeah. And I don't want Amara anywhere near those kids.
Just so
Yeah.
I'm,
So, like, is she
just
an
so I can,
infinite
like,
devil generator?
I
just
don't
so
know
I
what
can,
the fuck she is.
just so I get this straight. Clerics, they have, you know all cleric spells, right?
Not all of them. But I mean, we have a
Paladins have their own spell list.
Dane, I'm asking Dane the cleric.
Yes.
Yes.
So
You- yeah.
it depends on if the spell is part of the Twilight Cleric's roster spells that they get, but otherwise, yeah. Essentially, I just have everything that a cleric of that level would have.
Do you know what is available to you then?
Yes.
Such as sending.
La 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 la. Let's see. Let me go to no
You know.
spells here. I do not have access to sending.
That is crazy. It says it's available for clerics.
Is that
Yeah, but it may
not
not
a
be available
common
to Twilight
spell list? Do you have to prep? other like cleric
If
spells?
I remember correctly, clerics just know all cleric spells of that, like up to that certain level, do they not?
You have to. It has to be. They still have like certain spells that are in their wheelhouse.
Well, in any case, I
Here,
still think
I'm looking. You can always overrule it. It's your game. But
Well, that's just how that's how I had that's how I thought it was, at least how I had read it, is that like you know all, like when you would just know all first level cleric spells, but you would need to prepare them after a long rest or whatever it was
yeah,
at the beginning of the next day.
you do have to prepare your spells.
Yeah, so but you still know all of the cleric spells up to 5th level, right?
Oh, that does. Oh, you know what? I might have overlooked it because it's a 3rd level, and I looked at 5th level.
Yeah, because like I said,
Let me go back.
how I had read it was, you take the long rest and you pick the spells you want to prepare out of all of the cleric spells
3rd
up
level.
to that certain level.
I do have sending.
Yeah, but it's not prepared, right? You would need to take a long rest.
Yeah, but we did earlier in the day, so I could technically have
Yeah,
it.
that's fine. It was a bunch of RP. There was nothing like that was super dire. So
I will. I'll drop Sanctuary for the time being and prepare sending. So base is covered.
What is sending?
So you only he sends 25 words to a target, and they can respond with 25 words.
Yeah, as long as it's somebody that I know.
As a
then
level 10 cleric, you should have like up to 5th
Yes,
level.
he would
do.
intrinsically know who Lythan is due to Vindicteus's intervention in the creation of Sav.
Okay, so all right, all right. That makes things a lot easier then. But
Well, if you need an answer from gods, there's
I'm very much, by the
two
way, I'm
ways
very
to
much
go
not
about it.
trying to hold hands right now through this. I'm just like, these are things that are coming up in my head to help with your guys' logistical issues.
I imagine that it would be better to send Tamea with the main message. Let her get her answer, and then us reach out to her for her take on what was said.
we could tell Lythan like a short list right now, and Tamea can bring the main meat of it.
I suppose, but 25 words is very limiting, so you got to realize it's difficult to relay a complicated message within that.
I understand, but I mean, it would be talking about the vengeance. I mean, give a little poem, I guess. The vengeance of Rungates come to sing the war of battle, and Tamea is there to give you.
What is the purpose of the message?
It is to let Lythan, the champion of Vindicteus, know of what's going on.
Hey, Lythan.
Yeah,
we
pick
Crusading.
your 25 words super carefully, but
we're
also,
up to 4 based on that.
Yeah.
Hey, Lythan, we Crusading.
Yeah, it's a 3rd level spell slot, so I mean, you can cast it more than once. Just saying. So like that's up to Sav and the amount of long rests you guys have now until the banquet. So should probably plan out how many sendings you potentially want to do.
Well,
do not waste time on articles of speech like of or the.
Yeah,
No, we're
so
not
you're just
gonna
speaking
make
like
it
a Russian.
complicated.
Yeah. Real quickly though, very quickly here. Yeah, Tamea's still gonna go to the temple. That's still going to happen.
Yeah, she's going. Yeah, she's going with the other the other 24 citizens, and along with Emma and Barris.
Yeah, Barris bringing weapons. All that little stuff too, and we can message Lythan while we're on the road just to tell him a little updater before Tamea gets there. Okay.
Yeah.
And we can do it again to Tamea after like a day or two or whatever.
Right. Probably gonna hop off.
Once we get away from
Once
we get away from town, we need to stop
You
and
guys-
do a little divination as well.
Yep, I'm fine with that too. And side with all that
Good night.
information, I believe that is all that needs to be said about it. For now,
Okie
and
dokie.
I'm not gonna DM everybody right now, but I'll DM before the next session.
That sounds good. That can be where we pick it up next time.
Yep.
Like setting out on the road.
Yep.
Here, I will make this super simple too, so it doesn't get lost in the